Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers. We're here every day, Monday through Friday. Don't forget to hit like and the subscribe button so you get new episodes as soon as they drop. Today, we're going to discuss how deep the 2025 NFL draft is at some of the Packers' biggest areas of need. And, this is important because it really goes a long way to determining how GM Brian Gutekunst is going to prioritize different positions. Is a given position weak at the top, strong, in the first round, second round? If you don't get someone early, is there nobody worth taking at this position that would upgrade the roster? All of these things have to be taken into consideration. So today we looked at the top four areas of need, positions of need. Coming in at number 4 right now is cornerback. The addition of Nate Hobbs in free agency reduces this need a little bit. The Jair Alexander situation still a bit up in the air. We don't know when he will be moved, how he will be moved, what the Packers potentially could get in return. But you're really looking at Carrington Valentine, Nate Hobbs, Keyshawn Nixon, Javon Bullard. That's your top 4 right now, assuming that Alexander is not back. Now, there really aren't a lot of elite cornerbacks in this year's draft. The strength of this draft at the position is probably the second and third rounds, like day 2. So we'll see how that affects Gutekunst and what he's looking to do. I think this is definitely still an area of need, but it's maybe not a first round need unless an unexpected player falls to the Packers at 23. And I think there are other areas of need that may be a higher priority in round 1. The third area of need that we're going to examine is wide receiver. They signed Mecole Hardman. We know Christian Watson is out for at least the first half, probably more of the upcoming season. And while Brian Gutekunst has said, hey, I'm not averse to it, the Packers haven't selected a receiver in the first round since Javon Walker back in 2002. And they're looking for a go-to receiver, a number 1 kind of guy. So is this the year you end that long drought of first-round receivers? The problem is this: it's not a deep receiver draft. And that leaves the Packers in a bit of a bind. Do you go for a first-round guy, maybe even trade up to try to get one of the few first-round talents who would fit the Packers' criteria of relative athletic score, size, speed, agility? Or do you wait? Or is it possible, as part of a Jair Alexander trade, you bring in a veteran wide receiver to fit that bill? Wide receiver, not a great position in this draft, and that could affect the way the Packers approach it, because I don't think Goody is going to rush into drafting a player who isn't better than some of the guys that are already on the roster. The second area of need that we're going to discuss is defensive end. No Packers lineman had more than 7.5 sacks last year. That was Rashawn Gary. They traded Preston Smith midseason. Kingsley Enagbare took over as the starter opposite Gary. Brenton Cox showed flashes. Lucas Van Ness improved against the run, but still only some sporadic flashes as a pass rusher. You need to improve the pass rush. Defensive end, definitely an area this team needs to upgrade. Now, traditionally, you need an elite athlete if you want an elite pass rusher. So that means round 1. But we'll see whether or not Gutekunst goes that way. We've already seen the Packers meet with Shamar Stewart, James Pierce, Michael Williams in the pre-draft visits. So we'll see whether or not, usually that means if Goody is meeting with players at a particular position, that he may very well be thinking about drafting players at that position high in the draft. The good news is defensive end, this is a deep and talented group. You might be able to add really good players in rounds 2 or 3, but again, to get a truly difference-making pass rush, you usually have to go to round 1. And the number one need area that we're going to talk about today is defensive tackle. Why? Look, TJ Slayton gone. Devontae Wyatt entering the last year of his entry-level contract. We don't know if he'll be back next year. Kenny Clark had a rough year last year and has a huge $30+ million cap hit for 2026. If he doesn't bounce back and play well, he may not be back, and he may not be back anyway if he refuses to renegotiate that high cap hit for 2026. So this is clearly a major need. And you may very well be able to help the pass rush by adding some juice from the interior, not just from the edge. And this is a deep position at this draft. I get the feeling Gutekunst will double down like he tends to do at positions of need. So to me, whether it's first round or day 2, second and third rounds, I think you take one player in those few early rounds and then maybe one or two more on day 3. And there should be some good options here for the Green Bay Packers because this position of need lines up really well with the depth and talent available in this year's draft. Don't forget to check out our website at thepackerspost.com. We have new articles dropping Monday through Saturday there. And hit the like button, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Gil Martin. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comments. If you have a position you think the Packers should prioritize, feel free to mention that as well. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. And of course, go Pack Go.